Today we are doing an exhaust install on this 1978 Datsun 280Z. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Grace McTaggart and I like making car videos, especially about my new Datsun that I just got and my Subaru BRZ back there. So if that sounds cool to you, be sure to subscribe down below because that really helps me out. And I have a lot of content coming with this car and that car, as well as the Cafe Racer project, which I am working on still. I'm bringing that back to the channel soon. So be sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any of the content that I'm uploading. With that said, let's get into the video. So here is the full exhaust. We have the headers, you have what I guess you'd call this a mid-pipe, and then like the axle back or cat back. And this car doesn't have cats, but like the cat back or axle back, and then the exhaust tip. So basically it goes this piece, this piece, this piece, and then muffler, and then exhaust tip. So basically everything we need is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jack up the car, put it on jack stands, and we'll just get right into it. Okay, so I have the car fully jacked up. I'm gonna leave the jack under this side for a precaution, just for safety reasons, just to have like an extra level in case one of those fails or something goes wrong. That jack may save my life, so that's why that's there. What's going to be the hardest part of this install is getting the old exhaust off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use PB Blaster and spray all the bolts first, let it soak for a minute, and so that way it can kind of, maybe it'll give me a little bit of an edge on those bolts, getting them off, because they're old bolts. It's an old car, it's an old exhaust, so PB Blaster is your friend in this situation if you're doing this for yourself. So while I was under the car, I discovered something interesting. Looking at the old exhaust, you can see, I think this was the stock exhaust on the car, but if you come back, let me get a better angle for you guys, there's this weird flange and piece added in. This looks like a pipe from AutoZone, so I think what the previous owner did is removed a resonator or muffler here and just shoved a pipe in place. So that's what that looks like to me. And then all the way up there is where the headers are. So I'm gonna go up there and roll in from under there and get the headers off. Because if I just drop the whole exhaust, that would be ideal. Okay, so I'm at the front of the car now, and I went ahead and sprayed the headers, which are right there. You can't really see it because it is dark, but I noticed something. So one of the issues with this car when I bought it was the speedometer does not work. And so I thought it may be a pinion gear that connects to the transmission. So I went ahead and checked that while I was down here. It turns out there's just no pinion gear. It's just completely missing. So the speedometer's not even hooked up. So that is on the list of things that I now have to fix. Anyways, let's get back to this. It has been about 30-45 minutes of me wrestling with this exhaust, get it off. And I have good news and bad news. Good news, I'm able to take the exhaust off now. Bad news, I broke one of the studs that that holds the exhaust on. As you can see, I was trying to get off this nut right here, and I took this whole stud off. I'm going to finish installing this exhaust with 2 bolts rather than 3. But yeah, this is kind of a bummer. Anyways, let's get back into it. Time to drop the old exhaust off. Yay! Oh god. Okay, that was a pain, but old exhaust is off. You can kind of see how it works now. This is so weird. So the issue I was having was this was like welded, like just with crust and grease to the old flange up front. So this was just not coming off. Also, I did snap a bolt, which really sucks. I'll have to fix that another time though. I just want to focus on getting the exhaust on. I can still fix it even with the exhaust on. So anyway, as you can see, this all looks stock except for some weird thing here, but that still kind of looks stock. This looks stock, heat shield is stock, but then this This section here does not look stock. This looks like a pipe from AutoZone. You notice that this is a different color than the other pipe. So, and also these welds are kind of bad. So I think the previous owner just eliminated a muffler here and just put that in instead. So, and then we have this back, and then obviously the missing tailpiece. But anyway, we have the full new one. I'm gonna put it in pieces, which will be interesting. But that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do the front, then the back, and then do the middle piece, because the middle piece actually does not have a hanger. So that's the plan. So I'm looking at the diagram that they sent, and it looks like, so the muffler has two different ends. It has this offset end and then the centered end. And so it looks like the offset end actually goes in the back, connected to the exhaust tip. So we're gonna start with that, and then the hangers hold up this muffler, and then this piece right here. This piece is only held up by these two hangers, and then the front exhaust, the manifold actually being attached to the car. So there's not many hangers with this, which is a little weird, more common on older cars. But we're gonna start with this, then we'll do the front, and then we'll connect everything together. I think that'll be the easiest way to do this. There are plenty of ways to do this. There's no real correct way. There may be an easier way than another. I personally think that this will be easier than connecting everything off of the car and then trying to lift it all onto the car single-handedly. Ideally, it'd be more helpful if you had more people, but I don't. So I'm going to do it in sections, and we'll see how this goes. And I'll update you. I'll let you know how easy it is. I'll let you know how hard it is. Anyway, let's get into it. So after about an hour of fiddling with this rear muffler, it doesn't really fit very well. And mainly, the main reason behind that is because the previous owner of this car, it looks like jerry-rigged these hangers, because these don't look like stock hangers to me. So I don't think this fits properly. What I may do is I may go to AutoZone and just eliminate this muffler by getting a pipe here. But so that means I'm not going to finish this part today, but I will probably finish the headers today, and then I will check back in with you guys on a different day. So we'll see how that goes. The main reason why I'm kind of frustrated with this is the fitment is just terrible. Like this, I'd rather have it further back in, and it just doesn't fit well. So I'm gonna keep the hangers the way they are. I like that, but I'm gonna try to just move everything back with a different pipe rather than that muffler right there. So it has been a minute since I've actually picked up the camera. There was a couple issues that I ran into. One is one of my friends came over, we were working, and the exhaust actually fell on my head, and so that we had to handle, as well as a lot of other things. But long story short, we got the exhaust mounted, and it is now a few days later, but there are still some issues, and the exhaust is still not done yet. Let me show you guys. So basically, as you can see, we have the full exhaust mounted all the way back, but it hangs super low. So if I show you from this angle and I kind of zoom in there, let's see if it'll focus. That is not even 2 fingers off the ground, and it's hard to show you from back here, but it's really low. So that's one of the issues that we ran into. Another issue is where this piece mounts right here. It doesn't really line up, especially with the muffler. So that is another issue that we ran into. So this exhaust doesn't fit as well as I want it to, but I'm going to go ahead and try to get the rest of it mounted, which is the muffler and the exhaust tip. And if that doesn't work, then I'm going to have to do something else. But I need to get this thing done soon because I need to make a video with it. So if I can't get it mounted, I may just end up taking it to an exhaust shop where they can cut and weld, which I don't have the materials to do that right now, so that may end up what happens, so that will be a different video if this doesn't work out. There was also another casualty that I ran into with the car. While working on it, I didn't realize that you jack it up from the pinch weld. Early in the video, I jacked it up from the pinch weld. A lot of cars you can do that with, but apparently Datsun's, that's a huge no-no because the pinch weld just can't hold the weight. They're kind of there just to be there. They can't support weight like normal cars. So where you're actually supposed to jack it up is from the frame. Now let me show you what happened to the pinch welds. So if you see, these pinch welds are not straight anymore. It's kind of hard for you to see here, but if I go farther down here, that is bent. That is bent. So that is one of the big issues that we ran into, so I can't jack it up from there anymore. You're supposed to jack it from the frame rails, which I just had no clue, and really that's just my bad for not really looking into that. I've always jacked from pinch welds before, not from the frame rails, which I guess it's just better practice to jack from the frame rails anyway. So if you're ever planning on getting a Datsun, or if you own a Datsun, or if you're ever going to work on a Datsun, never jack from the pinch welds because it can't support the weight. So that's my word of advice. I learned that so you guys don't have to, but that's my word of advice. With that said, let's get back into the build and let's see if we can get this exhaust mounted so at least I can drive it somewhere for it to be fixed properly. Okay, so after fiddling with this exhaust for a few minutes, I don't even think that the end that connects to the rest of the exhaust is actually big enough to accept the rest of the exhaust. So I don't think this is going to be able to fit, which is an issue. But I guess I'll have to take it to a muffler shop or some exhaust shop, have them put it on a lift, and do some cutting and welding for me, because first off, I don't have a welder. I usually borrow people's welders if I need them, but this needs to be done for a video that I'm making for you guys, for the 1,000 subscribers. And once this video is uploaded, obviously you guys have already seen the video and we've already hit 1,000 subscribers, but we are coming up on that milestone very quickly. So I wanted to make that video for you guys for 1,000 because that's what I promised. So I will probably take this to a muffler shop so they can get it done quickly. However, there's none open today, so that will probably be a whole nother video for you guys. But basically that's what I want to update you guys on this exhaust. This exhaust is called an MSA exhaust for a Datsun 280Z. However, it doesn't fit properly. Like if I show you guys, as I showed you guys already, it hangs super duper low. Like that's the rear of the exhaust right there, and you can see the rest of the car up there. Like that's too big of a gap for me. One of the reasons for that, I think, is that there's no hangers along here. Also, the pipe is welded so it angles down a bit, which is just not correct. That may work if the Datsun had normal springs on it, but this is lowering springs, so it's a lot lower to the ground. I'm gonna go ahead and start the Datsun for you. Even though the exhaust is not fully done, I still want you guys to hear it because this is a bigger diameter pipe than stock Datsuns, and it doesn't have any mufflers. It's pretty much a straight pipe right now. Actually, it is a straight pipe right now to the axle back. As you can see, the muffler's not on it at all. Like that's the muffler right there, and it's just not on it. Other than that, there are no mufflers in this thing, so it's gonna be loud. It's a larger diameter pipe, so it should be a deep tone. So I will give you guys that. I'm going to start it for you guys, but this is not going to be the final exhaust. It will be changed eventually, so keep that in mind. But I'm going to go and start it for you guys. Oh, this is so loud. This is a lot louder. Oh no, my neighbors are gonna hate me. It's like 3 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon and it's so loud right now. This is idle. I would rev it up for you guys, but what? I don't even know if you can hear me. I would rev it up, but it is just started, it is still cold, and it would be very, very loud. I need to get a muffler on this thing, but this thing's gonna be so cool when it's done. I'm gonna go ahead and kill it. But first, oh, it smells like gas. I think I may need to adjust. There may be some exhaust leak somewhere. Actually, I may have heard one up here. Hold on. Alright, there's definitely an exhaust leak right there. I'm gonna go and kill the car, so give me 1 second. think my neighbors just went inside. Anyway, that's a lot quieter. Let me explain what just happened. So there was a snap stud right there, which you can't really see because it's really dark. But there was a snap stud on this exhaust flange that connects to the exhaust manifold. And whenever I put my hand there while the car was running, you can definitely tell air is coming out of there. There is an exhaust leak, probably because it doesn't have a fully seated connection between the two pipes, because it is missing a exhaust bolt and a bolt that's holding it in place, or it's supposed to hold in place. So that is an issue, and that will be an issue. That will probably continue to be an issue for a while, but right now my main priority is getting this car, the rest of the exhaust, properly fitted, and then I will worry about that piece up there. That's going to be a fairly big job because, as you can see, that fuel rail and everything right there is in the way. Under this is the exhaust manifold, which connects to the engine, so that would be in the way of removing that. So either I need to put on a lift and then drop it, or remove all of that and then remove it. Either way, it's gonna be a bit of an issue, and I don't really know how I'm gonna handle that yet, but that will be a different video in the future. But my main priority is getting this car ready for you guys to make a video. Anyway, that's probably going to do it for this video. If you guys like this video, be sure to leave a like down below. If you guys really enjoy the Datsun and you enjoy the BRZ, please leave a like and a comment saying that you do, because I do read all the comments. Even if the comments aren't great, I still love to see them, and I love to hear you guys' feedback because I want to make better videos for you guys. I'm not only doing this for me, I'm also doing it to make content for you, because I think there needs to be more car content on YouTube. So if you like Datsuns, if you like BRZs, if you like Miatas, my Miata will be coming back to the channel this summer, and I should have enough content for you guys. And if you like motorcycle, this one is being built from the ground up in this garage by me. As you can see, this engine is fully torn apart, and it will be coming back to the channel soon. So if you guys like these videos, please let me know, and be sure to subscribe down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.